You better bloody well settle down. Hello, hammerheads. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know what that bloody cat's doing. Oh, I'm going to have that later on, if I can be bothered. Chicken jalfrezi. Have you ever had them curries before? They're quite good. I don't just cook them like that. Put them in a pan, tomato puree and some hot sauce. Of course, they're not as good as my homemade ones. But when you're a lazy bastard like I am today, because it's Sunday, well, it's easy, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to review another film now. And this review is about this film here, I Spit on Your Grave. This one is the remake, which was, it was released last year. Yep, 10th of October I think. Yep, I remember hearing about it getting remade and I thought, how can you remake a film like that? It's got probably the most shocking, brutal gang rapes in it. The original anyway, not the remake. Wait a minute, hammerheads. I'm not very organised today, I tell you. Right. I'm good now. Yeah. Good film this. I'll read the synopsis. I mean, you probably know the original version in 1978. Well, caused a storm of controversy, didn't it? Got banned and you still can't get the uncut version in England anywhere. I got mine from South Korea. That's how far you've got to go to get these uncut video nasties these days. But this remake, right, which was released just last year, this is actually the cut, slightly cut this. It's 103 minutes long. And if you want the uncut one, it's a rare, unrated one, which is 108 minutes long. I'll have a look for it when I get the chance. But I don't know how it can be more violent than that one. That's bad enough. I mean, the original, right, the rape scene's really, really graphic and goes on for ages. And shows you each one of them in turn raping her. And when she gets her own back and kills them all, it's not very graphic. But this one is vice versa. The rape scene isn't as graphic, which I'm grateful for, and when she gets her own back on them, God almighty, does she get her own back? She gets her own back alright, oh God almighty. It's good the way that they've all got the same names in this film as well, all the characters, and there's an additional rapist in it, the bloody local sheriff. Oh, he's a nasty piece of work. Sarah Butler plays Jennifer Hills. And she was reluctant to take this role because horror films used to disturb her, but her agent persuaded her to, you've got to play a badass woman like this. And well, she took the role. Jeff Branson plays Johnny, the garage attendant. Well, he owns a garage, I think. I can't remember, something like that. Daniel Franzese plays Stanley. I think that's the bloody get smooth one with the get goatee. Andy is Rodney Eastman, or is Andy the other one? And no, Stanley's the big fat one who's always eating all the time. Chad Lindbergh plays Matthew, you know, the retarded one. The one who didn't really want to rape her, but he was sort of railroaded into it, and he's the first one to rape her. like in the other version, he's like the last one, really. And yeah, Tracy Walter's even in this. Yeah, Tracy Walter. That's a man. You'll recognise him. He's been in loads of things. He's a character actor. He's a little Weasley bloody man. Well, he's an old man in this. He plays the bloke who rents the cabin. Shut up. You know when this was released? God almighty. The 10th of October 2010. It grossed 92,401 fucking... No, that was on the 14th of November. That was the gross. It's not very much really compared to some big budget films. I mean, well... Director Stephen R. Monroe. Screenplay Stuart Morse. And I can't print. The director of the original one from 1978, Miyazaki or something, I can't pronounce it. Why can't these people have normal names that you can pronounce? Then again, my name, nobody can pronounce it. Anyway, I'm sure he's like, that's too small. How is anyone supposed to friggin' read that? I think he edited it. So, the original director has something to do with this remake, but it's very good. I'll read the synopsis out for you, right? Oh, tagline. Is there any? No, there isn't. Stark, twisted and brutally shocking. Alan Jones, Fright Fest. On the back, outstandingly brilliant. The defining horror event of the year. Gore Zone. It's not a horror film, it's a thriller. Jennifer Hills is a beautiful woman from the city who decides to rent an isolated cabin in the country to write her latest novel. Before long, she attracts the unwanted attention of a group of local lowlives, they are and all, who subject her to a nightmare of degradation. Oh, fuck it. I'm still half asleep, man. Rape and violence. Left for dead, Jennifer returns with the sole purpose of taking vengeance on her attackers, one by one. When the carnage clears, the victim has become victor. Great revenge film. Basically, these four arsehole fucking hicks from the country, well, they know where she's stopping and that. So they go around and humiliate her and degrade her and eventually rape her when she runs away before they manage to rape her and straight into the arms of the local sheriff. And he's like, "What's going on, ma'am? Let's go back to the goddamn cabin and straighten things out." And like, well, soon becomes apparent that he's like in cahoots with them all. So there's 5 rapists in this version, not just 4. And anyway, he's a fucking horrible, but I think he's the worst one out of the whole lot, him. I mean, he's got a family and that as well. And his wife's pregnant. What's he going around sodomising innocent women? Anyway, gets back to the cabin and then they'll all come back when she thinks she's safe with the sheriff until he starts groping her and blah de blah. Anyway, Matthew rapes her first in there, and anyway, they drag her outside where she runs away and get her again in the woods, rape her again, which isn't too graphic, not like the original. And then it cuts to the bit where she's walking away and they're going to kill her anyway. The sheriff's got his shotgun out, and so she jumps backwards off the bridge into the river. And they're all panicking, they're all going, "Where is she? Where is she?" Totally fucking vanished she did, didn't she? And anyway, she's stalking them all. First up, she gets Matthew, puts a noose round his neck and drags him away, and you don't see him again till later on. The next one is, I can't remember who she gets next. It's either Stanley or, oh God almighty, or Andy. She gets them both anyway. One of them's in a bathtub tied up like this. And he's like planks and like underneath him, so he's trying his best to keep his head out of the water. Then she goes and gets this fucking tub of lye. It's obviously some kind of like, I don't know, where he burns all his fucking face off anyway. It's a corrosive material, and that's how she kills him. Pulls the plank away, and he's got no strength, so he has to go in the water and melts all his skin off. Brilliant, that. Then another bloke, the fat bastard, she's got him tied up outside, right, after she's knocked him out with a baseball bat. She gets fishing hooks, and keeps his eyelids open with them, ties them round the tree, and so he can't shut his eyes. And then she rubs all this fish guts and all over his face, and just leaves him there, and he can't move. And all these crows start pecking his eyeballs out. So that's the end of him. And the next one is Johnny, the garage owner. Well, she knocks him out. She goes to the garage pretending she wants to be filled up, and "Can I help you, ma'am? Do you want to fill up?" She turns around, smacks him one with a fucking tyre iron. Next thing you know, he's tied up in this room like this, and he's got this metal thing in his mouth. And anyway, she starts raping his mouth and throat with his own gun. Just what he was doing to her earlier. She says, "Let me see your teeth." And then she gets these fucking pliers out and starts pulling his teeth out. Not one, not two, but three of his fucking front teeth. It's painful to watch. Anyway, by then he thinks he knows his number's up. So he starts, fuck you, ha. You know, she's going to kill him anyway. So well, you might as well go out with a bit of dignity, you know what I mean? She gets these shears. Do you know what they do to horses when they need taming? And chops his dick off, right? Gets his dick and stuffs it in his mouth. And then walks off and leaves him to bleed to death. He spits his dick out and he's looking down. Oh, blood pissing out of his fucking wound. That's it, end of him. And then she gets the cop later. He's bent over a table tied up with his own shotgun shoved up his arse, rigged up with a piece of string to Matthew's hand, and he's like unconscious. And she's like shoving this gun up his arse going, "I thought you were an ass man." And he's going, "Please, ma'am, please, I'm a God-fearing person. I have a wife, I have a daughter, my wife's pregnant." Well, you should have thought of all that before he started going round shafting women up the arse, you know what I mean? Anyway, she says, "Matthew will be waking up shortly." Anyway, he's like this, tied up, his hands behind his back, bent over the table, gun up his arse, and Matthew starts coming round while she's sat outside calmly on a log. And all you hear is, bang! And then it shows you him, the copper, no face left, and Matthew's like dead because it fucking shot him and all. Then the credits roll. Good film, that, if you've got a stomach for it. But you know, I'm pretty sceptical when it comes to remakes. You know, there's not a lot of them I like. I always prefer the originals, but that one's better than the original, honestly. It's more edgy of your seat stuff, definitely. And it's certainly more fucking violent. And that's the cut version. I'm going to watch it in a minute anyway. Might as well. There's even music in this. The original 1978 version, there's no music whatsoever. And there's opening credits in the original. There's no opening credits in this. Well, that's the same with a lot of new films, isn't it? You don't see any frigging credits or cast until you've got to wait till the very end to fucking see it. Well, highly recommended. I spit on your grave. Cheers for watching, Hammerheads, and I'll see you later.